Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Now today I'm going to talk about Valorant patch notes 4.05. This was just dropped today and there's been already a nerf to Brimstone. Obviously last patch video, if you can't remember, there was a lot of changes for the smoke characters, Viper, Astra, Brim and Omen. Brim got some buffs. Brim especially got a pretty big buff with the stim beacon being 15% faster. And Astra and Viper got some nerfs. Astra was the biggest L character, as she was basically dead out of the meta except for like one map. So let's get right into the patch notes for 4.05. And first off with Brimstone, who obviously got a nerf. Some call him Brimmy with the stimmy. While it's been exciting to see you all leverage Brimstone's recent stim beacon balance in fresh ways, we think having two stims reduce the importance of deploying it at the right moment. The changes below are our attempt to address this while still retaining Brimstone's refinability as a bursty excellence of execution. So Stim Beacon, the charges has been reduced from 2 to 1, and the cost has also been increased from 100 to 200. So pretty significant. I don't think it would really change anything. It probably maybe like Brim will probably have like less impact of like on each round, obviously, because you know he has one less Stim Beacon. But I don't think it's really going to change his pick rate. Omen might be a bit higher, like, you know, like some teams may want to play Omen a bit more than Brimstone, but in my opinion, I don't think this really changes Brimstone a lot. He's still going to have the 15% speed boost, but there's going to be a bit of maybe a bit more of a pick rate for Omen, but I think Brim is still very, very viable in some maps. So move on to game system updates, and there's been a lot of them. So we have added the ability to import and export different crosshair setups via auto-generated codes. To export and share your personal crosshair settings, go to Settings Crosshair tab, click on the icon that looks like an arrow pointing up, found next to Crosshair Profile. It looks like an up arrow chilling in the middle of a bowl. Your auto-generated code will be copied to your clipboard. I really, really like this, especially that I've given some like my crosshair to some people. So this is very, very good, and I don't have to like screenshot everything that I put the crosshair as. So to import the crosshair setting, go to Settings Crosshair tab, click on the icon that looks like an arrow pointing down next to the crosshair profile, import or paste the code in the provided field, and click the import button. The crosshair preview is at the top of the settings menu. Should reflect the imported settings. Make sure to give it a unique profile name. It's a new one, which I think I talked about in the last patch. It is the prioritize strongest weapon setting. The goal behind this setting is to allow players to transverse quickly with melee equipped and the combat ready after using an ability or interacting with the spike, ult orbs, etc. Two changes were made. Rework the prioritize strongest weapon setting. Rename the setting to auto-equip prioritize most recent line strongest. Updated the priority system to support weapon-like abilities. Previous priority primary over secondary over melee. New priority ultimate and primary is greater than arrow. Secondary and chamber pistol, secondary melee. Resolve priority ties by selecting the most recently equipped weapon. And they added a new setting called Don't Auto Equip Melee. Skips past the melee when finding the most recent weapon to auto equip. Prevent pulling the melee back out after channeling or casting abilities without changing any other equip behavior. Know that you can still queue up equip inputs. Example, pressing one mid dash to equip your primary once the dash completes. When you don't queue up a specific equip action, the default auto equip behavior was to pull out the most recent equipped weapon. The new settings are meant to allow you to modify that behavior based on preferences. And considering how abilities fit in, deciding whether Jet's knives or her primary weapon is stronger, depending on gameplay context on your preference. How many knives do you have left? How close is the enemy? How is your aim feeling? In playtesting, we found that the best heuristic, I don't know, for which weapon is contextually stronger, which was whichever you had equipped previously. So that is basically prioritize strongest weapon. But for simpler terms, if you cast an ability like a smoke, like jet smoke or a flash, it will immediately go to your gun or your melee. So, well, actually, so it will go to your primary weapon or your secondary. Competitive updates. So they added the deterministic map system enabled for all regions. So basically, what that is this rollout should increase the variety of maps in your queue based on a system we tested in the Latin America region. So what it is that it is I think is so there's like a system. I talked about it in patch 4.04. Basically, they did like a little so it's like a system. And they will have a look at your match history, or like I think like the five most recent matches you played. They will have a look, and the map which you have not played in those 5 days, or in those 5 matches, that'll most likely be the map. So if you get uh, 2 split, 1 haven, 1 bind, and 1 ascent, it'll most likely be breathe or fracture or icebox, basically. Bugs. Competitive. Fix the bug that was causing the lead match button to function incorrectly for PBE players. For agents, fixed issue where service recon bolt was destroyed by Brimstone's orbital strike, even if the recon bolt was well out of their area. Social, fix the bug where the mic icon on the scoreboard could not be interacted with after hovering over it with the mouse. And here's a known issue. There are a handful of bug fixes prepared for Icebox, but the team ran into an issue that blocked us from shipping them right at 4.05 launch. We have to ship these before the next patch, and we'll list them here as soon as we can. So there'll be some Icebox bug fixes, which will be good. Let's now sit down and relax and enjoy the video.
더 빠르게, 더 강하게 패치노트 4.0으로 시작해볼까? 오랜만인데 날 잊은 녀석들은 정신 차리라고! 브림스톤 소식이 먼저군. 자극제 신호기의 충전량이 줄어들고 비용도 올라갔지. 이제 좀 더 신중하게 쓰는 게 좋을 거야. 그리고 수염은 내가 더 완벽해! 다음은 시스템 업데이트다. 다들 잘하는 사람들의 조준점을 부러워하더군. 그래서 조준점을 편하게 공유할 수 있는 시스템을 추가했지. 자동 생성된 코드로 조준점을 내보내거나 가져올 수 있어. 발로란트 해설 양반들, 앞으로는 조준점 코드를 알아와야겠군. 어쨌든 이 키는 꽤 유용할 거다. 요루 녀석이 설명했던 맵 시스템 기억하지? 한국 서버에도 적용될 거야. 고생 많았고 잘 참았어. 고맙군. 마지막으로 발로란트 챌린저스 코리아 플레이오프와 결승전 소식을 알려주지. 이번 주 주말 대망의 결승과 준결승이 준비돼 있어. 다들 열심히 응원하라고. 뭐 수고했다고? 이 정도야 뭐 껌이지. 그럼 난 간다.
Yeah, that is really about it. Obviously, just like I never know what to call. I guess the voiceover mentioned in the video that the Korean playoffs in the grand final is going to be happening, I think, pretty soon, along with North America, EMEA, Japan, Latin America, and Brazil as leaders of the other regions, and those regions will be pretty shortly soon be finishing with playoffs, and also APEC as well. I forgot about APEC. My God. But yeah, that's really about it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys on next time in the next one. Goodbye.